got a fast car, and I wanna take it to.
It's incredibly racist.
Super racist.
What's going on? Welcome back to the 1776 report, where we expose the stupidity of the woke left. Luke Combs is probably the top country music recording artist today, and he is being accused of racism. Go figure. With the rest of country music, why did he do anything racist? Did he go out and commit some atrocious racist act? No. He covered a black lesbian song, and that makes him racist, according to the woke mob. Luke Combs decided to cover Tracy Chapman's Fast Car. Tracy Chapman is a black lesbian who owns the rights to her song Fast Car, which is a great song, by the way, and Tracy Chapman is a very talented musician in her own right. Luke Combs added the cover to Fast Car on his most recent album, and the woke mob is now coming for him in country music, even though he's paying Tracy Chapman hundreds of thousands of dollars, and probably by the end of the day, millions of dollars in royalties. The Washington Post and one of their woke journalists, Emily Yarl, is accusing Luke Combs in country music of racism and homophobia. That's right, for covering a song. Luke Combs, Fast Car, success marred with complicated racial debate. This is coming from the Washington Post. Emily Yarl said, although many are thrilled to see Fast Car back in the spotlight, a new generation discovering Chapman's work, it's clouded by the fact that a black queer woman, Chapman, would have almost zero chance of that achievement herself in country music. The article also cited members of the Black Opry, an organization for black country music singers and fans, who voiced their disappointment at Chapman being a middleman for a white man's success. You cannot make this stuff up. So get this, Luke Combs, who obviously respected Tracy Chapman and her work and the song Fast Car, decided, hey, I really like this song. I've got a lot of artistic motivation, or whatever the hell you want to call it, from Fast Car. So you know what? I'm going to cover this song. Instead of making my own song, which I could sell a ton of records to, I'm going to cover this song and pay Tracy Chapman a ton of royalties, because that's how this works. You are allowed to cover any song you want to legally, but you do have to pay the original artist royalties. And according to reports, Luke Combs has already paid out over $500,000 in royalties to Tracy Chapman. And by the time this is done, royalties continue to roll in as the song gets streamed or played. And by the time this is done, I see Luke Combs paying Tracy Chapman several $million in royalties. Furthermore, Tracy Chapman's original song has garnered more popularity since Luke Combs released his song, making Tracy Chapman more money. So who is helping who here? Is it a white man making money off of the back of a black queer woman? Or is it just somebody who's a musician admiring another musician's work, covering that work, and paying that musician for doing so? I think it's the latter, and the woke mob is losing its mind by coming after Luke Combs. The article goes on to say, on one hand, Luke Combs is an amazing artist, and it's great to see that someone in country music is influenced by a black queer woman. That's really exciting. Black Opry founder Holly G said, but at the same time, it's hard to really lean into that excitement knowing that Tracy Chapman would not be celebrated in the industry with that kind of middleman being a white man. Being a white man. First of all, race and sexuality have absolutely nothing to do with this. In fact, Tracy Chapman, in her original Fast Car version, saw a ton of success, was ranking really high on the charts. She was nominated for a Grammy, and she made a lot of money off of the song Fast Car. This is a fictitious story. This is identity politics. It is not true. It's a bunch of BS. Black Opry co-director Tanner Davenport also argued that Combs' success kind of just proves that when you put a white face on black art, it seems to be consumed a lot easier. This is Fake news, folks. Look at all these successful black artists in today's climate. This is stupidity at its finest, and this is where woke goes insane. And the folks on Twitter are demolishing this Washington Post story. Here is Emily Yar's tweet as Luke Combs' hit cover of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car dominates the country charts. It's bringing up some complicated emotions in fans and singers who know that Chapman, as a black queer woman, would have an almost zero chance at that achievement herself. And it was community noted, and Twitter community note said, Fast Car by Tracy Chapman was nominated for not one, not two, but 3 Grammy Awards, including Record of the Year and Song of the Year. She won for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance and Best New Artist. She has 7 other nominations for Grammy Awards and 2 wins. And this individual tweeted, WTF, Fast Car was one of the biggest songs of the decade. It was a huge hit. Are you delusional or are you just ignorant? I would say both. The woke mind virus infects your brain and then you can't think straight. And these Washington Post liberal woke journalists, air quotes, journalists, are infected with that said woke mind virus. And they cannot see the truth in this story. What they see is a white dude, a terrible white person. And by the way, look at Emily Yar, a white individual. She is so concerned with her own white privilege that anytime she sees a white person having success and a black person having success, then the white person must be taking advantage of that black individual. We have another tweet reacting to Emily Yarl. Tracy Chapman was wildly successful for her own excellent song long before the left decided DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, was the only way for minorities to achieve success. And they're either ignorant of those previous successes or choose to ignore them. Here's the fact. The cream rises to the top. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, gay, or straight. If you're a good musician, which Tracy Chapman is a hell of a good musician, then your songs are going to sell. You're going to win awards. And down the line, people are probably going to want to cover your song. And that's exactly what's happening here. It has nothing to do with race whatsoever, and has everything to do with one good musician honoring another good musician. Another individual tweeted, "This is incoherent. Tracy Chapman is not a country artist, so of course she's not going to place on the country charts. As everyone has pointed out, Chapman's original did great on the pop and mainstream charts, which is a lot better than doing well in the country charts." Conservative writer Varad Mehta tweeted. Byron York tweeted, "This is such a bizarre story from the Washington Post, but leaves out Chapman's huge record sales. Debut album sold at least 13 million copies. Total career sales around 30 million copies of Tracy Chapman's original albums." So Tracy Chapman was a very, very successful in her own right, and now she's just gonna make another $5-6 million off of Luke Combs' version. Slavery? I don't think so. When you're making $5 or $6 million because somebody is honoring your song by covering it on their own album when they didn't have to, and when they could have used their own song and made more money, that is not slavery, folks. That is honoring a musician who maybe you looked at growing up and said, "Damn, that's a good artist. I hope one day my music can be as good as theirs." So what does Tracy Chapman think about all of this? Because that's really all that should matter. If Tracy Chapman doesn't mind that Luke Combs covered her song, who the hell cares? And who the hell cares what these woke journalists think over at the Washington Post, the failing Washington Post? All right, Tracy Chapman tweeted, "I never expected to find myself on the country charts, but I'm honored to be there. I'm happy for Luke and his success and grateful that new fans have found and embraced Fast Car." That is all that matters. Tracy Chapman understands what this means. Luke Combs is honoring her work. More eyeballs are now on her other songs. She is getting more streams. She is getting more downloads, in turn making more money. If she releases new music, more people will be aware of her work and that's all that matters. And all of these woke lunatics, they can go shove it where the sun don't shine. Tracy Chapman has already made over $500,000 from these royalties. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until next time, deuces up.